Hello YouTube, it is Damien. It's Damien Does England. It is Season 5 of Damien Does England, Season 3 here with Bournemouth. And today we have the first game in the Premier League versus Newcastle. I do believe I said at the end of the last episode that I was going to stream the transfer window yesterday afternoon after watching Liverpool play a pretty boring game against Everton on Monday morning for me at like 3 in the morning. It was kickoff, it was like 2:50. Got up, did that episode, and then I kind of just went back to bed, and I woke up, it was already 3:30 in the afternoon, so by the time I get on stream, and with coaching, I have to be at coaching at about 6, you can't really go into stream and do a really in-depth transfer window, so this is currently Tuesday morning. I've used my day off after getting up, and, after coaching, I don't like streaming on the Monday night when I'm dead tired, to kind of do the whole transfer window, and we will go and recap it all in this episode. As always, Tuesday, got coaching all night, so the stream won't be until Wednesday and beyond. We do love streaming Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whenever it's possible. We usually do. Links are in the description below. As always, come and watch the madness live. Anyhow, we have to get into the transfer history, and then we have to get into the new system, see how the system performed in pre-season, and then we are going to play against Newcastle. There we go. So as we can go through, we're going to go on the outs first, but we have spent big money on a couple of big players in a few areas, and we've also spent money in a couple of other areas, which was needed as well. As you can see, the biggest money we brought in was for Riyad Mahrez. I was very upset that the guy just kept getting injured. I would have liked him if he wasn't injured to stick around. But, obviously, look at it. Sprained knee ligaments, twisted knee, sprained knee ligaments, pulled groin, Achilles tendon. The list goes on. That was all in the space of basically a year. And I kind of said, look, yes, Mahrez, you had a great year last season, but when you're only playing 22 games out of the 38 available to me to really impact the league, what am I going to do? So to get 20 mil, which was about his base value for a 31-year-old Mahrez, 31-year-old Mahrez, I was only paying 4K of his wage, so I don't mind. We got him out the door. Ponce went out. Look, I wanted Ponce to actually go to Brighton, who were interested in him. In the end, Club Brugge was who he really wanted to go. I had an offer from Brighton, accepted, and Burnley, who were like the next two, because I would have used Ponce as a backup striker at Brighton or Burnley, definitely first season in. So that I love the dynamic of that, by the way, in this challenge, that you look to sell players to where they need to go, or loan them to where you need to go next to help improve their squad while you're improving your own. At the moment, though, Ponce there, at Club Brugge. Hope he has a good career, because I really do like the guy. Matty Loden was just over the hill, 33. He started having quite a torrid time in the Premier League. As you can see, scout rating's 48. So I got him in, got him out. Got his value for him, which was good. Just to get the wage off as well. Hopefully he has a good time at Middlesbrough. He would be all right. Troy Deeney went out for 2.8 mil. I don't think that anyone can disagree. We're bringing in Pietro Pellegrini, kind of spelt the end of Troy Deeney. Look, Troy had a decent time of it, but to get couple mil for a guy you brought on free is not bad. Jordy Classity, who came back from loan, went out to Lech for a couple of mil. Not someone I brought in. Tonelli went out for loan, maybe the biggest name there that went out for loan. But there we go. We're into the transfers now. Maximum Club has come in with a reason, because I am going to show you the new system. We kind of mentioned it at the end of last episode. Something that I want to try, especially against smaller teams, and we'll talk through it and why it's so important. Against smaller sides, that I reckon this system is going to work, and we will be using it against Newcastle. Smaller sides, everyone that doesn't usually finish in the top 6. Anyone that finishes in the top 6, I feel like 4-4-2 is still the go, and I actually still think like 4-4-2 would be our main formation, unless this formation hits the ground running like it did in pre-season. But we're definitely going to give it a go. Anyway, Maximum Club is a youngster. We got him there from Bayer 04 for 1.4 mil, and the guy looks quite good. I didn't want to go out and buy a first team, like a proper first team central defensive midfielder, because I don't want him to get upset when we're playing 4-4-2, for instance. This guy is pretty much at the level to be Premier League with the ability to grow, and if we weren't to beat Liverpool this season, I think that's the big thing, right? Is that I think we have a squad that's capable of winning the Premier League. But do we have a squad that is capable to match Liverpool if Liverpool just go on a massive run and get 95 points? Probably not. We need another season like last season where it's so close, so dense. Liverpool get to 92 just, and maybe we can get to 93. We're probably looking for a season when we won it with Arsenal, where Liverpool only got to 86. and we get 88, I think that's achievable. We're really looking for another close Premier League. If Liverpool fly out the gate, they're unstoppable. They just won the Champions League. They won the FA Cup. They won the Premier League. They're on fire. It's going to be hard to, topple them. And so to say they are the most reputable club in world football at the moment on the save. As a Liverpool fan, it's great, but obviously when he's trying to win the Premier League elsewhere, it's not. Anyway, the guy looks quite good. If you go to his report, as you can see, he's currently on a Sky Bet level, but he's not too far off our best central defensive midfielder, which is Roberto, who I don't want to really play him there. I prefer to have him on the bench as an impact sub. By the way, this guy could just grow into an absolute monster. He's a bit of a tank. He's got a little bit of reputation for a youngster as well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Joe Vince came in, and this is the one I didn't do, but I'm actually happy the club didn't make it. This guy came in because of our football director. I actually think that this guy could grow into like the Mike got in. Someone that was not cheap. He didn't pay £550, but someone that's like the Mike got in mould. He had good passing, good work rate, decent stamina, knows how to get up and down, had good leader, got in and have good leadership, but he was captain anyway because he was a highly influential figure. I actually think for the future of Bournemouth, this guy could actually grow. Whenever someone's 2.5 star at 19, the worst they're going to go is the 3 at a minimum, and 3 star here in the Premier League for Bournemouth is a decent to good Premier League player that can play around. I am going to be keeping this guy on the radar, Joe Vince, for a future club and see how we go. I did say that we needed a right back with Matt Lowton going out. Sergio Aurier came up from Spurs. Look, the guy, for 12 mil with a few clauses to get it up to 20 is not bad. Had a good time of it at Porto, Liga NOS, and went to Real Sociedad when they had an okay season. Didn't have the best of years, but, hasn't played too much for Spurs, but usually hasn't put a foot wrong. Over all his games so far, averaging a 7. I just needed a right back that can get up and down in the system or can play as a wing back in the 4-4-2. This guy can get up and down, complete wing back and support, got good crossing, loves a good first touch, has a great tackling, can get back, has the work rate, decent amount of pace and acceleration. Just is a massive, massive, massive step up from Bruno Manzo, who will still have a very good year and will play a lot for me, the wonder kid, but will have Aurier, you would hope, has a better impact. We need a new keeper after Handanovic, obviously, has retired. Butland left last season. David Raya from Celtic is an absolute freak. He's got great reflexes, great one-on-ones, great kicking with the ball, decent passing, can play sweeper keeper really well, which is important in our new system. Command of area is really good as well. He's got nice amount of height, 183. He's not overly short, he's not overly tall. He's got great vision with his passing too, which means in the 4-4-2, when he has to go long with that 16 kicking, you might see him pick up Petro Pellegrini or Callum Wilson over the top. Amori Amedia Silvia is someone that maybe the stream kind of knows. It was one of the few Brazilians that have just come out of a golden generation of Brazil strikers at the moment. There's like 4 or 5 youngsters that are all wonder kids that could push the Brazilian first team pretty soon. As you can see, the guy is absolutely amazing and probably takes Umar Faye's spot as the first number 1 backup choice. However, if you're looking at youngsters coming through Bournemouth, you've got Umar Faye and Amori Amedia Silvia who are going to be playing in cup games, depending on the Champions League draw, who we get, depends when they play, and they're both pretty good to play in the Premier League as well. Amari is pretty much, I'm going to call him Silva, but Silva is pretty much on the level of Callum Wilson. If you go into this coach's report, as you can see, Callum will start, don't worry. But if this guy hits the ground running and Callum doesn't have the same season last season, you could see this guy push the first team. As you can see, he had a very good time of it over for Santos. He was playing at Santos as a youngster, basically from any regen. Scored 47 in 98. It's pretty good to have him. I need to train him a couple of traits, but, great physicals, great pace. Doesn't get up in the header too much, but, loves to play for the last man on the shoulder. Got good off the ball. I actually think as an advanced forward, as a poacher, he's not too bad. Complete forward, he's not too bad because he's got decent passing, just his headering and jumping, which kind of lets him down in that regard. But lucky last, we spent 31 million on a defender. Our problem was last season, why we didn't win the league, was at the back. In this new system, we're hoping that we're going to be more defensively solid, but I'm hoping that at the same time that we are going to also be able to use Mr. Matthias Ginter in how we build up from the back in the new system. You might now think that we're playing a possession-based system. We are. That is something that you would have seen on the channel previously. You would have seen at Sunderland for many years till we changed to this 4-4-2, which helped us win the Premier League title. I'm very big on possession-based football. I'm actually very big. I'm not the biggest on the formation that we're playing this season. It's just kind of how it fits us. But anyhow, we'll see how we go. As you can see, Ginter's a freak. Ginter is one of the best centre-backs that was available on the cheap. He was transfer listed because he was being mistreated by Gladbach. Look, he's sensational. When you got United, Barca, Madrid, and City all lining up for you, I had to go in. It was early in the window. I was like, yeah, Ginter done. That is that piece of business done. He's got great headering. He's got great height. He's got great jumping reach. He's got good physicals for a guy that's 190 centimetres. But it's the decision making. It's the composure. It's the concentration. Something that our centre-backs really lack. Something that Phil Jones lacks. Phil Jones, good centre-back, in the heading, marking, and tackling department. Brain fades. Hoping Ginter doesn't have a brain fade. Big amount of wage as a key player. Mainly moved to us because he wanted to play in the Champions League. And that is the beauty of actually getting to the Champions League and having it. What we are going to do now is go through the Bournemouth fixtures. I'm wary that this part could be broken up into too long for talking. To help with my editing, I like to go and now put videos into 2 different parts. Talking and then gameplay. It just helps with the editing to hopefully make it a bit quicker for episodes to get out and to be edited down. But as you can see, we played Slavik Prague. We played every game in a 4-4-1-2-1-2, which is the new system. We will talk about the new system. It's very attacking and very minded on, I think we're going to dominate the ball against sides that are weaker than us. Let's go on there. What I really like is we got Sessegnon, who is a winger by trade, and both basically my wing backs end up here. In the system, once we have the ball, it kind of looks like that. And when we're looking like that, with clubs sitting in with 2 centre-backs on cover who are really quick and really we're able to have all these numbers probing the space, keeping the ball and waiting for the opportunities to arise. I'm going to move these guys back, obviously, into complete wing-backs. It's pretty good, and we'll show you a couple examples of what I mean with the movement. I prefer to have Sessegnon really bombing on and Aurier on support. If we go back into the friendlies, Spartak Plug was the first time we did use it, but if you go into the analysis screen, if it wants to load up, I'm hoping it doesn't take too long to load because I don't want this episode to be too long. We can show the average positions of us with the ball and without the ball. There's obviously a couple other games we're going to do this with as well, but if we go to Bournemouth, right, and we go to average positioning, as you can see, without the ball for the starting 11, right, it is it's still quite high, but as you can see, it's very compact. Got a nice growth before, and then you've got your 6 really covering that back four. A lot of our goals we conceded was players getting into this area, running at the back four because we're playing a 4-4-2, and there was too much space between these 2 lines. I feel like having a 6 kind of cuts that out. We then have 2 very narrow midfielders, and we're still able to press with 2 up top, and the central attacking mid can come in and press 6s, which is really good. With the ball, however, you can see how high, Sessegnon really does get, and that's when we're in average. You'll sometimes see Sessegnon get up here, and in this game, he scored 2 from about inside the box. But as you can see, getting a little bit higher, still have a 6 covering, but you do have a lot of, Manzo getting up. You've got both centre-backs on halfway, but are able to cover, and it is not too bad. If we were to look at another one, for instance, I feel like our best performance of this was probably against Atletico Bilbao. I know we only won 1-0, but you can see from the stats it was sensational. We go back to the analysis screen, it will let us have a look. Team analysis again. If we go to Bournemouth and we go back to average positions yet again, as you can see, I've done a lot of work with it. As you can see with the ball, if we only go to starting 11, once again, with the ball, not quite high, and as you can see, it is very high from both wing backs. Like, look how high they are compared to where the fullbacks are. In the 4-4-2, they're only averaging about halfway. Here, they're really getting impacted with play. But as you can see, you've got 2 midfielders bombing on with a 10. Right, we've got space for overlapping fullbacks, and you got both forwards up there. For games where we're dominating, right, we can work the ball around in a possession-based system and really pick teams off. Right, our problem was in previous seasons was not putting teams away and always having to fight for it and be scrappy. I really want to go and put teams away that we are worse than. However, my big thing is on transition. You've already got a 6 and you've got 2 at the back there, which kind of limits them on the break. They can only really break out wide. And as long as we go and press that initial ball in our system, it really allows for the rest to kind of flow back into shape. Without the ball, as you can see, we don't drop off, but as you can see, we're so super compact. Against Bilbao, we were all at him. Press in this game, as you can tell. And look how high we're doing our defending. Love that. But I love how the compactness of our 6 and the 2 midfielders in that 4, it's kind of say, come on, break us through the middle. We're basically saying, switch it out here and let's have a footways. We've got Sessegnon and Aurier who are going to get there most times than not. We have Ginter and we have Kevin, who are both quick as covering ball-playing defenders. They're going to sweep up. I'm very happy, and it allows us for when that ball's in the middle, press, and we're going to go and win it. And we know what happens when this side wins. It's with Callum Wilson running through. He scored 33 goals last season, basically based on that. So this system still allows for it too. So it will be pretty good. I'm very happy how the system kind of goes. We won the Friendly Cup. We beat Rangers 2-0. We also beat Numiata in the final. It was the easiest Friendly Cups ever, really. As you can see, the other one was Ascoli. We probably should have won it. We did win it. Anyhow, that's enough talking for me today in terms of basing on what happened in pre-season, transfers. If you're really happy with the transfers, let me know in the comments below. Pre-season as well, pretty good as well. I'm going to quickly save the game because I haven't saved this morning, and we are going to get into this Newcastle game. So that's the end of this part, and I'll see you guys in just a second for the game against Newcastle on the opening day at St. James's Park. Welcome back, YouTube. Here we go. First game against Newcastle at St. James's Park. There's your lineup. Raya, Aurea, Ginter, Winmer, Sessegnon, Club, Heidemann, Carlos, Daniel Ike. People that don't remember Daniel Ike, our football director picked up 775k last season. Had a really good under 23 year, 23 goals, 19 assists. I think he's going to be ready. Has a lot of potential, according to all my things, all my scouts. 4-star is not bad at all for the level. I feel like instead of buying a centre attacking mid that would get upset if he didn't play every game, to have Daniel Ike, who's, by the way, I really love the bigger body, Daniel Ike, 186. To get him in, there we go. If it comes to the summer and we're playing this week in, week out because it's just so good, then I probably would invest in a centre attacking mid. But there we go. Obviously, Pellegrini and Callum up front. Amelia Silva gets to the bench. Sissoko, and Roberto, and Danny Drinkwater as the midfield three that could make some swaps. Melling Stack is on the bench, the extra fullback on the bench. Just if we need to go 4-4-2, Sessegnon can come on. And then we bring Melling in for Ike, and then he can go 4-4-2. Kind of allows us that. Phil Jones and Manzo there as well. Squad number to one player, which is Maria Silvia. Give him the number 13. That is fine. Could have given him the 99, but it's not like a Troy Deeney big target, man. He's quite nippy, so we won't do that. They've gone 4-2-3-1. Darlow, Damian, Shah, Mawson, Lukaku, Strata, Jensen, Navarro, Lookman, and Marquez. There we go. Go out there and impress me. I have faith in all you boys to go out there and do the difference. It's a kind of a new look team with a new look system. It's not too bad. What we are going to do though is always tightly mark and always press both centre backs obviously as well. I want Navarro to be picked up by our 6. I don't want Marquez getting anything near it as well. And if we can close down out wide to limit the space for these two, that would be great as well. And kind of leave the rest. Unlike this the season's past, we're just automatically pressing a 4-4-2 because it's so counter-pressing. In this one here, we need to pick and choose when to press. The two strikers can really go and press both centre-back, both central defenders, and really force a mistake, and really hoping to punt them long, which is good. Obviously, by picking up our 6, which is kept picking up Navarro, trying to limit him creatively, and see how we go. And Callum will be captain because obviously Drinkwater, Melling on the bench. Underway, I'm looking for us to keep about 60% of the ball and to create chance after chance and limit Newcastle to not much. That would be the goal. Anyhow, we kick off in first game of the Premier League. Need to start off with a win. Haven't started off with the ball though, which is a bit of a shock to the system. There we are. We have had 2 shots though, but not with the ball. Can we really go get creative, please, and get back on the ball, please? And there we go. It's a highlight, but I'm not happy with the possession. Anyway, Heidemann backs both. Carlos heads towards goal. Through Darlow and in. Great header from Carlos, European Golden Boy of last season. And there we are. Heidemann with a good ball backstick. Carlos with the header. I'm not happy with how the system is kind of started here, 20 minutes in. I definitely think this is a system we definitely use at home more than away from home as well in the Premier League, where we really should be dominating sides. But wanted to showcase it here today as well in our first game of the season. Anyway, Damian there, Navarro, really tight on him. Don't let him turn, it's good. Jordan now puts a ball in there. David Raya, and there we go. Good line from the guys. It would have been offside as well, you would have imagined. Anyway, Ginter can play out. Instead, he looks channel for Callum. How many times have we seen this? Callum Wilson! Put it wide. Good ball out from Ginter. And that's the thing about this system, is even though it's very possession-based, if there's space to exploit, we have the centre-backs that can pick that pass out. Sessegnon, Kevin now, in the Sessegnon, can play it inside if he wants to, he does. Daniel Ike can face forward, still with Daniel Ike, looking for Callum, good ball to Callum. Callum in 1v1. Callum Wilson goes to chip Darlow instead, puts it straight at him. Wasn't there, you had to blast that one. We're creating chances at will though here, 25 minutes play here at St. James. And it is Petro Pellegrini in it to Club, good ball in backstick, doesn't find his man, and now Lookman is. The only problem with that highlight. His club was caught out wide. Couldn't need to be. Navarro's in 1v1 here. Raya with a good save. And Ginter away. Didn't like how easy it was for them to break. This is why I do like the 4-4-2 away from home, because teams really do come and play, usually at home. But at home, I reckon the system is going to work wonders anyway. Sessegnon, David Raya, off we go. Got a good keeper that can hit feet. He's come out a fair way, but it's a good ball towards Aurier, though, from the keeper. Aurier's ball inside to Carlos. Loves bombing on. Daniel Ike in the hole. Good ball out there to Sessegnon. Loves to get high. Sessegnon now, numbers in the box. Whips it. Carlos, header blocked. In the end, Darlow, what a save. There we go. Fell back to Carlos. Darlow fell back to Carlos. Hits it. Darlow, great save. Carlos now back stick towards Ginter. Doesn't find him. 10 shots in this first half. Only 3 on target, but really dominating. Can we press up in here? We try to. Jordan Ibe now kind of sitting off him. I might go a bit more press in the second half as well, but we'll see. Anyway, Damian again into Jordan Ibe. We're now pressing up with Sessegnon, but it's a good ball into the channel for Marquez now. Marquez 1v1. There we go. David Raya, great save. And there we go. Probably being a little bit too open for my liking at the moment. In this 4-1-2-1-2. At home in pre-season was unreal. I think at home it will be unreal for most of the season. But right now, Newcastle have been not too bad, finding half spaces on the break. I might switch into the 4-4-2 here at half-time and get Daniel Ike off. Not like he's had a bad game or anything, as it looks like Iofin Mawson's offside and it's kind of just walked straight through play. Pretty weird highlight. Anyway, Heidemann now. Good ball in. Back stick there. Headers away. Callum can recycle now. He looks to chip it in. It is chipped in. It is a header. And it looks like it's an own goal, judging from everything. It is an own goal from Dami. And I thought Pellegrini or Carlos got a head on that. Apparently not. And there we go. It is an own goal. Pretty happy with that. We move up to second. We've been a little bit lucky, though, on the break. As you can see, Callum chips it back in there. I want to really see if it came off Damian. Oh, you would say Pellegrini's got something on that, wouldn't you? Anyhow, not really dominating the ball, which I don't like. And this is why we use the system at home. And that's not what I like as well. Free time for Kevin to head one down. Doesn't. In the end, ball in. Marquez looked offside. In the end, I think it will be disallowed for offside. I thought he was well off. And there we go. David Raya hasn't conceded just yet in the Premier League, which is good. It looked offside. Yeah, he was a mile off, and there we go. All right, we are going to switch to 4-4-2. Not happy with how this has played out at the moment at all in this really good attacking system. Maybe away from home, we could probably play on positive instead of attacking and really limit the counter-attack, but I am going to go and move into the 4-1-2-1-2. I'm happy with how things are going. Keep it up because we are... ahead, but we are going to move into the 4-4-2 here. Clab is going to come off as well for Sissoko, and you will see Ike come in for Sessegnon, and then Melling come in at left back, and we're going to go to that in the second half because I've not been happy with how the game's kind of been played. We are going to go, obviously, and go straight into always pressing, and not man-marking there as well, but man-marking both centre-back, something that you would have seen us use a lot last season. And something that we know really does work here in the season as well. Anyhow, time's ticking away, and we'll get into the second half. Feel for Daniel Ike because he's kind of hit the ground running. He's not too bad, but now we're just going to look the press and look to really and just kill this game off. Sessegnon now on the ball. Still Sessegnon drills that one in, cleared now. This isn't the problem without having a 6 is this here. Lookman now running with it, Navarro. But, we've got numbers here that like to drop off. Melling now looking for Sessegnon. We're just going to look channels, aren't we? Pellegrini runs channel. There he goes. Callum should be coming back stick now. He gets brought down. I think it was outside the box. But it's definitely a free kick. It definitely feels like it's outside the box. VAR happens too often now that I just want to really just get through VAR. Simon Hooper's looking at the footage. It is outside the box. Be nice if we could swing one in and get a third here, Heidemann, or maybe go for goal if you really back yourself in. But instead, he goes back stick and it's headed over the bar there by Kevin Winmer, I think it was. In the end, still 2-0 to the good in the 4-4-2. Anyway, Jensen now goes back stick. Don't let Alfie Mawson hit it. He does. Navarro's there. We've conceded, and it's 2-1. Just like that. We always give up a moment, don't we? Always do. And there we go. The quest for being defensively sided hasn't happened. At least it's from a corner. It's not from open play. But at the moment, not been our best here at St. James. Now it's just a game, just to scrap in, dig in, and don't go and lose. Melling now puts it in, back stick there. In the end, headed away, Dami, Kevin can bring it under control, hits it, blocked. Might fall for Sissoko there. Melling again, his ball in. Callum front post, head straight at Darlow. And there we are, 66 minutes played, still 2-1 to the good. Highlight's still going though. Darlow goes long. Can we win that second ball? Aurea doesn't. It's thump long. Sessegnon ball. Surely it is. Still with Sessegnon. Still with Sessegnon. Looking channel. There we go. Headed away from Darmian. Pietro Pellegrini gets chopped. Shah there. Good ball. Navarro gets fouled. You thought it's played on. It's good save from Raya. Can we just go and just demand a little bit more? Look, they've gone 4-2-4. They've gone really, really, really aggressive. So a goal for us. There should be space. Should be good. Good throw. Callum. Sessegnon, finish it. Thank you. Game over. 3-1. There we go. Good touch from Wilson from a good throw. Sessegnon doesn't make a mistake. Ryan, who won Young Player of the Year last season, is going to start the season with a goal as well. Aurea, good throw. Callum there backs off his man. Great bully. And Sessegnon won't miss that. Good touch. Good finish. And make it 3-1, lads. There we go. So we should be home and hose now. I do say should. Doesn't mean we will be. I am going to make a change. Callum is going to come off for Sylvia. Give him his debut when we're 2 goals up here and see if he wants to score a third. The Wonder Kid. Lukaku throws it into Navarro. Still Jordan Lukaku who can run forward here. A goal would make it interesting for Newcastle, but I just feel that if we win the ball, we're going to have so much space to counter and really put teams away. Anyway, Lookman now with it. Back in the Jensen. Jensen now into Lukaku, and off we go. Still with the highlight here with Lukaku. Still with Newcastle. Lookman, by the way, always creates me trouble, and I don't know why. He's nothing special. He's just Lookman. Anyway, Navarro going on a run here. Hits it. Raya, good save to his left. Giving him too much space, and that's where I really like playing at 6 in these games where we should be dominating, is that doesn't happen. There's no space. When you get in between the lines in a 4-4-2, you just drive it to centre-backs, and I don't like it. But we know how good this 4-4-2 works in terms of going forward and creating chances, so it's okay. Look, we should be home and hose now. Just going to tell them to demand more again. Just really focus. Don't go concede. And it should be game over here. Time's ticked away here. I'm pretty happy how things are gone. And we are going to win our first game in the Premier League. We've had to kind of change the system. We didn't have it all our own way here today against St. James's Park, but a win is a win nonetheless. Melling isn't going to get to that. It is going to be game over. And we are going to win 3-1 against Newcastle in the Premier League. Pretty happy with that. Go to the team talk there. We had 24 shots on the day. It's not too bad. Pretty happy. We've gone and scored 3. We're always going to go and score goals this season, you think. We've got Man United coming up next. I'm not going to do that as a YouTube episode. We've seen a lot of Man United in the past. Seen a lot of Liverpool in the past. I'm going to kind of just bypass it all. If the Champions League draw was, for instance, to come out and be around the Liverpool game, which I think it's not, we'll get on with it. As you can see, because it's 2022, it starts early because of the World Cup, but we'll continue on anyhow nonetheless. Same with the Champions League. It gets postponed because of that as well, so there's Champions League games in January as well. Bit of a weird fixturing. Anyhow, from Damien, from Damo England, from Season 5 of Damo England, Season 3 here with Bournemouth. A win to start the Premier League. What do you think of the 4-1-2-1-2? As you saw, in pre-season went really well against sides that we should be beating. Atletico Bilbao went really well, and they're a really decent side in La Liga. So that's a pretty good hallmark for it. We only scored 1, but we could have scored about 10 in that game. Or do you think that it's not really going to work too well? I don't think I'll play against United. I think I'll play 4-4-2. And I really do think we'll just play 4-4-2 against the other bigger sides. But anyhow, we'll see how things go. I'll see you guys next time for another YouTube episode. As always, links in the description below. Go like the YouTube episode if you enjoyed the episode and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you and goodbye.